Alrighty, so my name is Nicole Larson. I'm head of retail research for the United States for Colliers. So research really encompasses the full suite of services for commercial real estate brokerage. I mean, we cover leasing, investment sales, property management, business development, placemaking, you name it. If it touches retail, I'm doing some type of research for it. So it's really cool. We work with a lot of national clients on their expansion plans, and if they're looking to expand in the U.S., they come to us first. We sort of work on their strategy and then take it to the local level from there. So I always tell everyone research is nothing without the analysis component. So, you can look at numbers, you can look at books all day long, but if you don't really understand what those numbers mean, what the impact of those numbers are within the industry, then it really doesn't make any sense. So having that research component to your company is so vital because you need that person that can dig into the numbers, understand it. And what's really interesting is there's new numbers coming out every day. And what makes retail to me so much fun is that I'm a consumer, you're a consumer. So, when I'm out shopping, I'm essentially doing research. When I'm out at the mall discovering new brands or touching physical items, I'm doing research right then and there. It's not only I'm just sitting behind a computer and plugging keys all day long. So there's a really fun aspect to retail that I think other asset classes don't get. So retail fundamentals in the United States right now are really tight. I mean, vacancy has remained pretty stable for the past 2 years. Rents consistently continue to go up. Absorption continues to outpace new retail supply that's being delivered. That's been happening for about the past 18 months. So we're really starting to see those fundamentals starting to tighten. And what also is happening there too is the lack of retail construction is also boosting the value of these retail assets. So on the sales side of that, we're seeing higher pricing as well for these retail assets, especially for grocery anchored. And we are starting to see some retailers announcing closures, but I'm actually not worried about that at all because we are hearing many retailers saying, I'm ready to take on that space when that retailer is moving out. So I know a lot of times it comes as cause for concern, but I don't see it as a big issue. Consumers have so many choices. There's so many new emerging retail brands that are constantly coming out that they're just willing and ready to take on that new space that's available. And one phrase that we've been using a lot in 2024 is conscious consumerism. So consumers are very intelligent. I mean, we have social media now, we have the news, we have brick and mortar, we have online to make all these different choices. Before we would just go into the store, this is my only option, I get it, I'm going home. Now I can go into a store and say, I really like this item, but can I find it cheaper somewhere else? So there's so much more research component to shopping. And consumers have the money to spend. I mean, retail sales grew about like 3.3% last year. We're actually expecting it to grow between 3.5 to 3.7% at the end of this year. So we are continuing to see sales continue to grow. Inflation is down, so honestly that number is also not accounting for like super high inflation as well. So these consumers are ready to spend. They're just going to be a lot more picky on what they're spending on. So, we talked about how consumers are a lot smarter now and they're doing their research. Retailers are following the same suit. So when retailers come to us and say, we're ready to open across the United States, they're not just saying, I want to be in this mall, I'll take any space. They're actually being a lot more selective and saying, I want to be on this corner of the mall, or I want to be on the second floor of this shopping plaza. So along with those consumers making smarter decisions, the retailers are, which I think is honestly great because it's setting them up for success and they're able to sign these longer lease deals and have that confidence that they are going to stay there for a longer time. And we do have a lot of retailers who are looking to expand, opening between 50 to 200 stores within the year. Will that happen? I mean, construction fundamentals are really tight, so we'll see. And these retailers are looking for, Class A space mostly, sometimes Class B, but we are starting to see a lot of redevelopment within the retail space as well. So we'll see where these retailers land. I think there's going to be a really tough battle for this Class A desired space. All right, so I think value retail has been really interesting. I mean, that was a really hot segment coming out of the pandemic. I mean, Five Below has just been popping up everywhere. We actually work with an Asian value retailer. They're looking to rapidly expand within the United States. So I think you are starting to see these consumers are looking for an affordable price point. Like I mentioned, they are becoming more choosy with what they're purchasing. So you do want to still continue to be able to treat yourself. That's like one of my favorite phrases to say. So you want to be able to treat yourself still, but at an affordable price point. I mean, we're starting to see luxury come down. You know, people are not able to buy the 3 Gucci bags a year that maybe they were able to straight out of the pandemic. So they're still looking for these little treats. You know, they're just looking for it at a more affordable price, I would say. You know, when we're looking at the differences between downtown and suburban retail, it really is market specific. I mean, the Sun Belt states are absolutely thriving, states within the southern region of the United States. But on the west side, we actually are starting to see in like Phoenix, San Jose, those are markets that are really thriving. The income is expected to really grow within some of these states that I mentioned. So those are some areas that we really need to look out for growth. I think a really big part of research is, you know, noting the forecasted demographics. Where is income expected to grow? Where is population expected to grow? Let's look out for that age demographic. Is this age demographic within a specific city starting to age out? Is there a new and upcoming city that maybe we don't even know about that people are beginning to migrate to? So we really need to look at those shifts, especially when we're looking at retail expansion strategy, because I don't necessarily think it's always like a downtown versus suburban type of thing. I think we really need to look at those demographics, see where the income and population is expected to grow, and then follow retail from there.